Since I went to the arraignment of Abrego Garcia, there have been some updates to his case, but I didn't think any of them were pressing enough to make a dedicated follow-up video. That was until some recent developments came out in the past couple of days. I felt like I had to cover it ASAP. And honestly, at this point, I can't tell if it's good news or bad news. On June 18th, the DOJ put forward a motion for pretrial detention for Garcia. This means he would stay in jail until his trial started. The motion was denied the same day, but again on the same day, it was appealed by the DOJ. Then, just a few days later, on June 22nd, his attorneys, along with Judge Waverly Crenshaw, realized that this motion for pretrial detention was a lose-lose situation for them. If they hold him in detention, then a man who they deemed unworthy is sitting in jail, and if they let him go, there's a good chance ICE will grab him immediately. They were led to believe this because of a string of recent Supreme Court decisions, one of which being that Trump and his administration could deport anyone they wanted to a third country, meaning a country neither they came from or America, one that they have never been to, so might as well be sending them to CIA black sites. So, as soon as his lawyers pieced all this together, they immediately appealed the court for a 30-day delay on his release until mid-July. And well, here we are. It's early August. Close enough. I need you to follow me for this next part because the things that I'm about to say might sound good at first. But, like I said earlier, it was also pressing that it inspired me to make this video immediately. So, on July 23rd, the district judge, Waverly Crenshaw, like I shouldn't do that twice. Seems like a Monty Python did at that point. The district judge, Waverly Crenshaw, ordered for Garcia to be released on bail. This was promptly followed by a 30-day request for release by his lawyers again. They did this in hopes of buying time to come up with a plan to fend off ICE. At the same time this was happening, in Maryland, a judge named Paula Jeans, I think that's how you pronounce that. I'll put it on screen. What she did was bar U.S. immigration officials from deporting Abrego Garcia without 72 hours of notice in hopes of giving his lawyers time to fight the case in court. So, like, things are good for now, right? He's safe until the trial starts. No, things are not good at all. I found out about all this on July 25th, 2 days after it happened. I was flipping through the channels on TV when I happened to see a DOJ whistleblower on MSNBC. This piqued my interest, and immediately I heard the name Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and I heard the whistleblower say, the DOJ is planning to undermine the courts in the Abrego Garcia case. And I didn't know about any of this or the Maryland decision at that point, so I immediately hopped on my phone and got up to date with the story with the help of today's sponsor, Ground News. No, I'm just playing. Could you imagine though? But after a bit of reading and watching a 30-minute interview with the whistleblower, I caught up on everything that I've gone over in this video so far. And through this, I have come to the conclusion that the DOJ is actively planning to undermine the Maryland court orders and deport Abrego Garcia either when he gets home to Maryland or the second he walks out of the courts in Nashville. And due to the SCOTUS ruling I mentioned earlier, he can just be deported to a third country with no repercussions. And that is the reason I made this video today. I planned to cover all these details, like I said earlier, when the trial started. I can't do that if he gets deported and there is no trial. We have to speak up right now. We have to act right now, because if we don't, it will be too late very soon. I will make a video covering the story as it unfolds. Until then, like, subscribe, leave a comment. I've dropped all my sources, everything I've shown on screen, plus this source right here. Oh yeah, here's the DOJ whistleblower interview. Plus this link. Judge in Abrego Garcia case tells Trump administration to moderate public comments to ensure a fair trial. They've been talking a bunch of shit on TV about the innocent man that they are putting on blast. But this came out as I was recording the video. Anyway, bye.